Hey guys, it's DC and welcome to the Soap Sanctuary where all soap lovers are welcome, guys. I don't think anybody's in right now, but I'm sure some people will be coming in pretty soon. I haven't done a live stream in a minute, guys, so I finally decided to do one. Albert and I know Kyrie's been asking me to do one all week, so I said it's finally time to do one. I'm finally about all caught up with the soaps at this point, so I have a good idea. Yeah, see, someone's already in the chat. Am I going to talk about the gates? Yes, I am. Let me just start that off right now about me starting off with the gates. In terms of that new show, I'm interested to see how that's going to play out. Is it going to be all 5 days of the week? Is there a budget for that? Is that going to be replacing B&B, The Bold and Beautiful? How is that going to work with that new show? I think the premise for it is actually pretty dope. Um, with an African American family, it's kind of similar to Generations that we had all those years ago. So I think it's interesting to see how they're going to do it. Can you guys hear me, by the way? Let me know if you guys are able to hear me. I'm going to post that in the chat. Can you guys hear me? Happy day after Good Friday, guys. I think we're in the day after Good Friday. Happy Good Friday. I have a slew of things to do. I don't know how long I'm going to be on for tonight, guys. It might be 30 minutes, might be an hour. We're going to see how things go. But in terms of the gates, let's see how it goes. Let's see. It's interesting that they're making a soap for the first time in 35 years because we haven't seen one since Passions in 1999. And I didn't think they would ever do that again. But this is why you can never say never. Now, here's the thing. It's in development. We don't have a date yet. We don't have any of that stuff yet. So I'm not going to sing the praises of the gates just yet. Because remember, like Pine Valley with All My Children, the spinoff, we were supposed to see it at some point, and the show never came to fruition. So let's see what happens. Okay, Gijo said 2247 says, I think they're a place to talk with the gates because the boss CBS wants it to be an hour. Oh, okay. I wouldn't mind that. I honestly wouldn't mind that, honestly. I think that probably would be better. I wouldn't mind that. I'm not crazy about talk shows, honestly. I think they now with YouTube and podcasts have just talk shows have kind of just like ran their course for me personally. Hey Kyrie's, what's going on? Clark Industries. Man, I haven't done live stream in so long, guys. I just finished watching this week's GH. I finished watching B&B, Days, GH, and YNR. So I'm all caught up. I think I definitely want to do a separate review on General Hospital because it's been really good with this review of Jason, guys. Really, really good. All right, Kaiwan says, how are you doing? I'm up to episode 70 on Santa Barbara. I'm on episode 2 of Santa Barbara. I haven't caught up in a while. I've been busy with grad school, guys, so it's gonna be a minute. All right, Stephen Ambrose says, using my tablet, DC looks better on it. Okay, thank you, Stephen. Albert says, what's up, DC and everyone? Now, Albert, you said I know you said you couldn't come on the stream. Does this mean you're also not going to be doing your member shareholders meeting tonight with Boston Enterprises? Let me know. Our ambassador says, Sam, greetings, DC and everyone. Great to receive the notification. Absolutely. Kaiwan says, I'm really loving General Hospital. Like, it's like having the show reboot it from 1996. Everything back in 96 is back on again. Yes. General Hospital feels fresh. My only question with General Hospital is, how did Jason not know that Detective Cates was Jagger? How did he not make that connection? I find it very weird that Jason wouldn't have done a Google search on Detective John Cates and found out who he was. This man who's forcing you to go into the witness protection program. That's a little strange, honestly, that he did not know who that was. That just seemed like a little bit of weird logic. But I do like the fact that everyone is suspecting Jason. They're not necessarily welcoming him with open arms. Everyone kind of has this doubt about him. I can kind of appreciate that a little bit because I feel like when a character comes back from the dead multiple times, you can't do every single return the same, right? You want to do it differently. And this gives the actors the opportunity to have layers in their performance. So I could appreciate that. All right. Stephen Ambrose says, Days is sort of boring at the moment. It kind of is. The whole Jude storyline and Holly with Tate, I'm not really interested. I don't think there's a storyline on Days right now that has my full attention at the moment, personally, I could say. Okay, G-Joseph247 says, Jason Morgan doesn't remember Jagger. That's true. But he didn't think to look up the man, the FBI agent he's working with closely, or like looking at his man's credentials. It just doesn't seem like Jason. I feel like had he just done like a quick Google search, he would have been able to make the connection. You know what I'm saying? Like Detective, John Cates, about Stone Cates with Robin. It was just very weird that Jason had put two together. Now, and then all of a sudden, when Anna told him, he's like, oh my God, like I've been bamboozled. You mean for 2 years? You never looked into this man? And you're working closely with him? Seems a little bit weird. Not even an Instagram post. That seems a little bit weird to me, right? All right. Kyrie says, I don't think Ava knows Valentine switched Sonny's meds. She's not in on that. She knows she will never get away with that again, but Valentine's going to set her up. Oh, yes. And they're about to fall in love. I don't know if you guys realize right now, but we're kind of getting like a Nixon Falls part 2. When I saw Carly and Jason leave Sonny's penthouse, you know they're going to put those two in a romance again, right? And I feel like when Sonny said, I can't trust Carly, I can't trust Jason, the moment he said that in his penthouse, I feel like that was a scene we were supposed to get when Sonny came back from Nixon Falls, when he found Carly and Jason. That's what we were supposed to get. But because, you know, the whole vaccine thing and Steve Byrne had to leave the show, we got a whole different storyline as a result. Because the writers know there's not enough time to have this play out the way we want it to, unfortunately. So I feel like we're kind of getting that Nixon Falls aftermath, but just in a different form, in another way, in another life. All right. G Joseph 247, Haitian flag. What's up? G Joseph 24/7 is a Zoe. Okay. What's up, though? All right. G Joseph 247 says, I think I see where you're coming from. Yeah, because how does Jason not know that John Cates is Jagger? Like, how did he not make that connection? Not a simple Google search? All right. Laura B says, hey, everyone. I'm glad I didn't miss this. Yes, I haven't done a live stream in a minute, guys. I think I did one. Last one I did was like a few weeks ago. So I finally have a little bit of time. I don't know how long I'm going to do live stream for, maybe for 30 minutes, an hour, because I got to get back to a lot of studying. I got a lot to do today, guys. But I was like, I need to do a live stream today. I know Albert's been telling me all week long, hey, guys, we're going to do a live stream. Can you do one this weekend? So I'm like, okay, we're here. We're here. And I got the time. All right. Kaiwan says, yes, that makes sense to have Valentine be a villain because Valentine's not most in the show anymore, so you can be a villain. It can be like a permanent villain character. Okay, true. Because villains, it doesn't work if they're permanent characters. I will admit that it doesn't work. That's why Sheila and B&B, it just started to get weird. When you're a permanent character, it doesn't work. That's why Obrit, when she was a villain for the longest time in GH, she had to be remolded and rebranded as a character because the thing about it is that she can only be a villain for so long. In order to stay on the show and have longevity, you need to be able to have a certain temperament as a character to last on the show, if that makes sense. All right. So Laura B says, hi, Kyrese. Hey, Kyrese. Let's see here. Did I get through all the comments? I think I did. I got through all the comments so far. Okay, we're doing good. I'm staying on track right now. I'm staying on track. With GH, I thought it was interesting seeing the scene with Danny and Jake. It was giving like a Jason and AJ kind of vibes to me a little bit, where I'm guessing Danny is the rebel between the two brothers, between the Jason Jr. brothers. Let's call them Jason Jr. brothers. He's like the rebel, and Jake is the good one who wants to follow all the rules. Which I guess in a sense, then wouldn't Jake be the Jason? Because Jason was the one that followed all the rules between the two Quartermain brothers, in a sense, before he became a hitman, of course. Which is so weird that he's still considered more prize than AJ when he kills people for a living. That's an interesting take that they have on the show. All right, Laura B says, a twist with Sonny's meds does explain Sonny's behavior. Oh, yeah, it does. It does. He's definitely been a little bit erratic. He's now falling in love with Ava, which I kind of like that. I kind of like that, honestly. Kind of like what Claudia Zakara should have been, honestly. What she should have been, in a sense. Okay, Kaiwan says, yeah, I said that like 2 months ago. I think that's when they started smoking the weed. Okay. What are you saying, Kaiwan? Kaiwan, you come in the chat. Clarify this for me a little bit, what you're saying, all right? All right, Laura B says, I think Ava is not on the med switch. I think she has her own agenda. Yeah, I don't think she's on the med switch either. She's already learned from Morgan. Like, she's trying to redeem herself as a character. And that would just go against this redemption arc that we pretty much had with Ava for the past 10 years or so. All right, G Joseph 247 says, I think Jake would be the Jason. Yeah, I think so too. I think he would be the Jason because he seemed like more the nicer one of the Jason Jr. brothers, in a sense. Kyrie says, I love that Jake won. Jake might team up with Charlotte against Danny and Jason. Yeah, I like that Jake won too, because Jake was in the right, you know? Jake seemed like he has more honorable morals, and I can appreciate that. All right, Kaiwan says, it does explain his erratic behavior because why would he? Why would he want to apologize to Jagger about Karen? Yeah, I don't think Sonny had anything to do with the Karen thing. And like I said, I brought this up on Albert's Live, is that this Jagger thing is pretty much a replica of when John McBain came to General Hospital for One Life to Live, where he had the vendetta against Sonny. His sister was in Atlantic City. Sonny was the reason why she got drugged and died. And on One Life to Live, we never knew John McBain have a sister, at least not to my knowledge. This is like a complete replica of that storyline. law enforcement official coming to Port Charles with a vendetta against Sonny about a woman who died and who was in a strip club or trafficked or whatever it was. Very similar storylines that they have going on here. I don't know if you guys see that parallel, which is okay because we didn't get that full storyline because of the whole Prospect Park thing. So I think it's okay if they want to recycle this one because we technically didn't get it in the past when we're supposed to. Hey, Darby, what's going on? Hey, Kaiwan says, I was talking about Danny and Elizabeth's son the week of. Oh, okay. I got you, Kaiwan. I got you. I totally got you. Totally got you on that. Yeah, and this is my thing with Jagger, John Cates. Which I think because the recast, that's why they call him John Cates. We need to distinguish the two. I personally just feel like, for me with the storyline, I want to know who was he protecting. Was it Sam? I don't think Jason was protecting himself. Because he doesn't need protection. I'm trying to figure out who was he actually protecting in a sense. That's what I want to know. Who was it? But this is definitely an arc that's going to make those two fall in love. I did like that Drew had enough self-respect to say, you know what, Carly, I'm not the man you want. Jason is back in your life, and this is who you want, and I'm just going to go ahead and excuse myself. I was like, you do that, Papo. You do that, Papo. You excuse yourself. You totally excuse yourself. All right, Darby13 says, I think the brothers are more like the different sides of Jason. Like Jake could be Jason Quartermain, and Danny could be the Jason Morgan side of personality. That is a good touch, Darby. I didn't even think. See, Darby, I like that. That's good thinking. I actually didn't think about that, where Jake could be the Jason Quartermain, but when he was Jason Q. That's actually a good point. I didn't even think about that. They don't have to be Jason and AJ, but the two parts of Jason. I like that actually, Darby. That's a good one. That's a good point. I wouldn't even thought of it like that. That's actually a good point. All right, let me get through here. Hey, Dewan, what's going on? That's actually my name too, Dewan. That's what the DC stands for. My name is actually Dewan. Everybody calls me DC. I'm not going to tell you what the C stands for. That's my own personal business. All right. Kyrie says, I'm kind of looking forward to Hope retaliating against Steffi. Let the claws come out. Yes. On B&B, I appreciated Steffi coming for Hope's neck, but also Hope staying on her own 2 feet. Because honestly, I think Hope not wanting to get married to Thomas right away is pretty understandable. Sis did just get a divorce. Usually people take about a year or two, but on B&B, if you don't get married within 3 months, you're not serious with the person. But in real life, people do take their time. That is okay. I mean, Bob and Kim and Aswell Turns took 10 years before they got together? For the writers finally put them together? It's pretty normal, I feel like. But I get it. This is soaps, and we have Amazon Prime shipping now with the storylines. You need to move along. I get it. All right, Kaiwan says, I think that's what did is that Jagger comes from the time where you had to stop Billings and OGH. The reason why they want Jagger back is because, to bring back that older GH feel. It's definitely been doing that lately. It's definitely been doing that. I mean, GH and Wine are the only ones that have been pretty decent. And B&B a little bit. Days not so much. Kyrie says, okay, I read that part already. Okay. All right, and Kaiwan says, that's why I think Jag is a perfect way to switch it back to time. Yeah, back to that GH time, that old GH writing. We are getting a lot of that, actually. I got to admit, it's pretty good. I really got to give it that. All right. G. Joseph 247 says, Edward Q would be proud to see Jake and Danny at odds. Typical Quartermains, right? Fighting with each other. The thing is, none of their last names are Quartermains. This is the thing with soaps where it gets complicated when people have different last names in a family, kind of like on Y&R, where you have Lily Winters, Devon Hamilton, Neil Hastings, Mamie Johnson, and who else? That's it. But they're all part of one family, but they all have different last names. It's very confusing. And most times what soaps would do is they make sure at some point all the characters have the same last name, unless it's true to the storyline. So like Gwen on Days of Our Lives, she still doesn't have to be Gwen Rizchek because that's true to her dynamic with Jack and the Devereaux. And the same with Jack. Jack, technically, his last name should be Johnson, but they kept it as Devereaux because that's true to the storyline where he was raised by a senator, right? And they have to honor that. Same with Dante and GH. They could make him Corinthos so we can just, new reviewers can know who he is, but they got to keep it as Falconeri because his whole thing is like he doesn't want to be nothing like Sonny. He came in as an undercover cop. That's true to who he is as a storyline. So that's why sometimes on soaps they don't change their last names. But on Y&R, I would appreciate it because it's a little too confusing. And why is it the Black family all has to have different last names? What's that all about? What's that all about, right? All right. Kyrie says, I'm so proud of Douglas this week. I didn't see what happened with Douglas on B&B. Is that a Friday episode? Because I think I'm probably up to Thursday at this point. All right, let me see here. By the way, guys, I don't know how long I'm going to be on. Like I said, I got a lot of stuff to do, but I just had to do a live stream today. Albert's been telling me to do one for such a long time. He's like, when are you going to do one this week? What's happening? I said, okay, I'm going to do one this week. I'm going to do a live stream. All right. Darby13 says, please let poor, simple, drunken AJ Quartermain rest in peace. I think AJ was a decent man. I don't think he was that bad. I mean, he's definitely not as bad as Jason or Sonny. You guys know how I feel about Jason or Sonny. I feel like AJ actually had good morals and values as a character on General Hospital. He really did, personally. All right. Meek says, hey, DC and everybody. Hey, Meek, what's going on? What's going on, Meek? Kyrese, you brought up a good point. I'm going to have to touch on that right now. All right. Kyrese says, I strongly dislike Claire Grace on The Young and the Restless, and I'm happy Lily fired Heather and Daniel. This is my thing with Claire. The moment she sat down with Summer and Kyle, I was like, they're going to put her and Kyle together. And Kyle was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, but you're not that same person anymore. If Claire was a man, do you think that Kyle would be as comfortable with Claire around his son? No. It's because she's a woman and she's beautiful and he's going to look past all this stuff. That's what looks can do to people. It can really make you look past certain things if you're not careful, right? Because when we see something that's attractive or appealing, we naturally attract certain qualities. We attach certain qualities to it, right? So if someone's attractive or appealing, you're naturally going to see this person as, you know, trustworthy, right? Likable, safe, right? All these positive attributes you're attaching to them before you even got to know them, right? And Claire is clearly dangerous. I wouldn't trust her around my children. I just wouldn't. You know, we still need some time. But Kyle was like, yeah, but you're not that same person anymore, you know? And I think you're learning and growing. It's because she's cute. That's what happens. All right, Kaiwan says, I think what it is that they have a lot of legitimate kids on the show, so everyone's married, and Jason doesn't really consider himself to be a Quartermain. That's true. He doesn't. But for newer viewers' sake, it's just less confusing that way. Like on Days of Our Lives, EJ came into this canvas as EJ Wells, not EJ Demira. But over time, they had to change it. It would have gotten too confusing. It would have gotten way, like Trip is no longer Trip Dalton, he's Trip Johnson. Some things you just have to, or it gets too confusing, unless it's really true to the story. All right. Dewan says, that's my name. I mean, Claire's all right. I wouldn't say she was beautiful. The thing is that Claire looks very similar to Summer. Blonde, skinny, mini, patini, you know, thing going on. They look very similar. So to me, I knew that was Kyle's type. And I know Kyle's going to go for her pretty soon. I already see it happening. I think we all see it happening before it even started, right? We kind of saw it happening. All right. Meek Cobb says that visual can guide you down a deadly road. It can. It really can. And that's what happens with Kyle. He's seeing how beautiful she is. Kyle has a type. He's pretty much been with blonde women, except for Audra. You know, there was Tara, who was Harrison's biological mom. There was Summer, obviously. And then now there is soon to be Claire, right? And on Young and the Restless, I feel like this is why I notice a lot of the men, they want to look past a lot of stuff on Y&R. Jack especially. Jack, see, and Kyle's just like his father, Jack. Jack would do the same. Jack would look past a lot of red flags of the woman because Jack has this complex, I can save you, and I can be the hero. And he actually plays that role pretty well. I'm not going to lie. He plays it pretty well because Jack is a very genuine character in Young and the Restless. I would trust Jack. If I would want a mentor, it would not be Victor. It would be Jack because I feel like Jack is a genuine person. Victor, on the other hand, very toxic, capital letters, capital T. All right, Medora says, late to the party. What's up, everyone? Hey, Medora. So like I said, guys, I might be on until 7:30 tonight. Yeah, till 7:30. I might be on until 7:30. I'll give it a full hour. I haven't been on a minute. I'll give it a full hour, guys. I'm going to give it a full hour. All right. Kyrie says, it was Thursday's episode. Douglas said, my mother died. Caroline Spencer is the one that gave birth to me. If my dad is in town, I want to be with him and don't make us go back to court. Wow. They actually acknowledged Caroline Spencer. I appreciate that because honestly, that is, you know, Thomas's son. And I really wish she never gave Hope custody. I feel like they did that to way to bond Hope together because Caroline's on the show. But I really don't like that he ever gave Hope custody of Douglas. I never liked that he ever did that. All right. Kaiwan says, do you think Gladys should return to General Hospital? I want Gladys back because they're going to make her like she was Sonny's mother. Gladys didn't do nothing for the show. I think her time is up. I mean, with Liam gone, not Liam, what's his face? Sasha and Brando. With Brando gone, Sasha kind of irrelevant of a character to me. I don't see the point of Gladys, honestly. I don't know what she would be doing on canvas. All right. Darby said that Tripp's adopted parents died, or did he abandon them after he found his birth parents? I don't know. That was very vague. You know, once the character on Soap finds their current parents, it's like the adopted parents are gone. We never hear about them ever again. Taggart is gone. It's kind of like a One Life to Live when Tina found out that she was Victor Lord's daughter back in 1980 something. We never heard about Ted Clayton ever again. So she was Tina Clayton and then became Tina Clayton Lord, but we never heard about Ted Clayton when she found out. Never. We never heard about them ever again. Ever. All right. Dewan says Victor is toxic. Yeah. The mustache. Every time I see Victor on the screen, my dear, I'll have you know that I'm here for you. Yeah. Claire's part of the family, okay? She's part of the family. And we should embrace as such, okay? Your mother's drinking, that's okay. We're going to work with her drinking and alcoholism, okay? I talked to Victoria, everything is well, all right? Don't question me, son. Everything's going well. All right, Laura B says, Douglas comments, we're cutting to Hope. That is nothing to be proud of. There's nothing wrong with acknowledging Caroline as Douglas' mother because she's, yeah. I feel like they let Caroline die because technically, if you think about it, Liam is Douglas's cousin and Bill Spencer is Douglas's granduncle in a sense because of Caroline Spencer. So it's weird they don't acknowledge those kind of dynamics on the soap. All right, Medora says, what soap are you presently enjoying or storyline? Ooh, GH. I love the storyline with Jason. I love Charlie, Jason and Carly being back together. I'm so here for it. It's about time. We waited 20 years. They finally gave us a Charlie wedding. I think it was during the pandemic. I was appreciative of that because you know what? Jason and Carly belong together. You can't tell me nothing else. It's been 20 years. I've been watching GH for 20 years. They belong together. You can't tell me nothing. The writing is set up for those two, okay? They're set up for those two. Totally set up for those two. But GH right now, for sure, has been bringing it. Weiner is okay. Storylines are still a little slow. B&B is picking up the pace, but Days needs to really get the storylines together. I'm not interested in these storylines. I'm not interested in it. Kaiwan says in 1980, Tina became Tina Lore when she found out 1979 when she came. Oh, okay. That was when it was. Thank you for that. I know it was around the 80s, though. Dewan says, why doesn't Victor Newman open his eyes? Yeah, he doesn't, right? When Victor comes in the scene, he'll be like, my dear, everything's going great, okay? I'll you understand something with me. Claire's part of the family, okay? And I'll have you know it, on good orders of Jack Abbott. Jack Abbott is Nikki's sponsor. I don't approve, okay? But it's good for your mother, okay? All right, Laura B says, but Hope is the mother that Douglas knows for whatever reason. To take him away from her without discussion was off my opinion. Okay, fair enough. Douglas was raised with Hope as his mother, which means Brooke Logan is like his pseudo grandmother in this weird way. This storyline makes me feel weird for a lot of reasons. It makes me feel weird that they made Hope Douglas's mother. Just so many different ways. Meek says, DC, you are hilarious for your Victor New impression. Thank you. All right. G Joseph 247 says Charlie feels incestuous. We got 18 people in the live. Thank you guys for coming on, man. You guys are coming on. Maybe because it's the day after Good Friday, y'all are home. Y'all know everyone's coming visiting family for Easter or something. That's what I think it is. Charlie feels incestuous. I don't think so. At first, I thought Jason was Carly's brother when I first started watching General Hospital, but I don't think so. I don't think it's incestuous. That's the love of her life. It's clear. They love each other. Jason was more happy to see Michael than he was to see his own sons. Am I right? Okay. Kyrie says it was always hugely unrealistic how Hope got Douglas. Hope and Douglas should have said goodbye to each other in 2019. I think so too. And Thomas could have just been a single father, but I think because of Thomas's imbalance, they needed another part for Douglas that was more balanced. Okay. Medora says Valentine being over Pikeman really shocked me. Never thought, yeah, when I saw that, I was like, that's a good twist. Because he hadn't been on in weeks. I totally forgot about his character. And that was a good twist because we would never have thought Valentine, he wasn't on for a minute. And honestly, why not? Valentine doesn't care about Sonny. You know, I mean, that's going to affect his relationship with Nina, but he doesn't care about Sonny. All right. G. Joseph said, non-soap related, but have you seen the Quiet on the Set documentary? No, I have not, G. Joseph. Tell me what that's about. Janice. Hey, Janice, we haven't seen you in a minute. Janice, how you been doing? Talk to me. Oh, my God. Janice says, hey, DC, your Victor is top tier. And Laura B says, DC, great Victor Newman impressions. Yes. All right. Kaiwan says they loved each other in the beginning, but then somebody backtracked it because of Sunny because the original actor played Carly chemistry. Okay, understandable. Albert says, "How does it feel back doing live? Feels good. I want to try to do these every once a week. You know, I miss doing my live streams. And guys, I actually do want to do a review on Love Victor. Love Victor is actually one of my favorite shows right now. I finished it on Hulu. It's like a spinoff of Love Simon. Very, very good show. And it's the first time I've considered doing a non-soap opera related review on this channel because that was a good series on Hulu. If you guys haven't seen it, you guys have Hulu, stream it. But I think most of you guys do because of GH. So stream Love Victor because I do plan to do that review next 2 weeks. I'm working on it and it's going to take some time. You know how these reviews do it. These videos take me, what you see is a 10, 15-minute video has taken me hours to put together. All right. Larby says, I agree, Medora. I didn't see the Valentine twist coming. Me neither. Me neither. All right, Kaiwan says Valentine's supposed to be power hungry. That's why people shouldn't trust people like Valentine. He's supposed to be evil, like the evil other Uncle Stephanie, the other one. True, that's very true. Laura B says hi to Albert. G Joseph 247 says a documentary that the abuse about happens to the Noting Stars. Oh, I heard about that. I might watch it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm very careful about what I watch out there. I feel like especially being now in the mental health field, I already taken sometimes so much during the day. There's certain things I don't want to take on at night. And soaps are my exception to the rule. So documentaries like that, I would watch it just to get some insight. But I might check it out. I might check it out. I'm open to it. All right. Gijo says Nickelodeon Star is back in the 90s, early 2000s. That's right. I heard about it. I definitely heard about it. I'm open to checking it out. Kaiwan says Victor Newman. People don't like Victor Newman. People who say they don't like Victor Newman don't know what they're talking about. Jackie O'Neill says, Jackie O'Neill. I love that name. Jackie O'Neill. That's a powerful name. It's giving Shawnee O'Neill. All right. Jackie O'Neill says, 20 years. You're such a baby. I've been watching this conception. Oh. So Jackie is 60 then. GH was 6 years old. They're 60. I first started watching GH when I was 12. So it was like 06. And it was a storyline where Carly's dad got shot by Alcazar. She was married to Alcazar at the time. And her dad obviously was a DA that came to investigate Sonny Corinthos, turned out to be her dad. They don't ever talk about Carly's father anymore. You know, it's like they never mentioned him ever since that storyline. That's when I started watching GH. I would come after school, off the bus, and at 3 p.m., you cannot tell me nothing. I'd catch the last 15 minutes of One Life to Live, just like Albert, but Albert stopped watching the last 15 minutes of One Life to Live, and that's why I got canceled. But for me, I caught the last 15 minutes of One Life to Live, and then I'd watch GH afterwards. Okay, let me go through the rest of these. Meek says, I'm ready for Ava and Nina SmackDown. Nina's going to feel betrayed. You know, when I look at Ava and Nina, Ava's obviously going to sleep with Sonny, and Nina's her best friend. It reminds me of Maureen Bauer and Lillian Rings in Guiding Light. For you guys remember. Every time I see two female best friends fighting over a man and it's about to be revealed, I think of those two because that was an iconic scene. That was an iconic scene from Guiding Light. Guiding Light did its thing. I'm still watching like retro 80s Guiding Light, and it was powerful storyline. I'm like, whoa, this was definitely the heyday. All right, Medora says, what are your thoughts on the new black soap opera? Yeah, I talked about the Gates a little bit earlier, Medora. I'm not going to sing its praises just yet because I need to see an air date. So we can be all, yeah, we got no soap coming. Let's see, because we thought Pine Valley was coming and it did not. I need to see an air date because sometimes people can make a whole bunch of hoop and hollering. I need to see an air date, but I'm open to it. I never thought I would see in 35 years a new soap opera being produced since Passions in 1999, but I'm open to it. I'm really open to seeing that. And the fact that it's going to be an all-black soap opera, I'm like, okay, maybe they should get Tyler Perry to write for it too. Who knows? But I'm open to it if it's done well. But I'm kind of wondering how it's going to look. Is it going to have that typical live look like soaps do, or is it going to have more of a modern look? Like, I don't know if you guys watch Telemundo, but their telenovelas now don't look live anymore. They don't have that live look. They look like movie produced, which is cool, but that's not their style, personally, in my opinion. I think they were copying off the American style. That's not what their signature they're known for. And I don't like that they did that. So I hope with the Gates, we still get that old-fashioned classic soap feel that we can get with it. Or else I'm going to have a problem with that. I'm going to struggle with it if we don't get that. I'm going to struggle with it a little bit. I may struggle. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to struggle. I think I heard a name about the writer, but I want them to get an older soap writer in as well. Just someone who understands this genre. I think the lady who they brought in, she understands it, but I want to see also a name I recognize. Maybe like Bob Guzza. Because when Bob Guzza came in and he wrote for Sunset Beach, and so did James Riley. who was a creator and writer for Passions. He wrote Sunset Beach. And when you watch Passions and Sunset Beach, you can see similar elements with the way the show looks and also with the storytelling at the same time. All right, let's see here. Kai Wan says, all right, I had a spoil about season 3, about Victor. Okay, let me. I got a bunch of comments here. Hold on, everybody. Hold on now. Hold on. Alicia says, "Hi, DC. How the hell are you? Hey, DC. How the hell are you? Jack Abbott." That's always the thing that Victor. I always get with his impression of Victor. It was Jack Abbott. I say you've been talking to Jack Abbott, right? Jack Abbott is a man. He doesn't have no scrupulous balls. Yeah, he can't stand up to anybody. He's not fit enough to shine his father's shoes. The one says, I thought Valentine changed, but I guess not. Kyrie says, I wouldn't be surprised if Charlotte's working on Valentine too. Hey, why not? Like father, like daughter, why not? Laura B says, what do you think of portrayals of Ashley's breakdown Connor's OCD? Connor's OCD is a very unique storyline, and I like that they're portraying Adam's reaction realistically, because I think a lot of parents are like, okay, I don't understand this, right? How does this really, how is it actually affecting you? I have such mixed feelings about Connor's OCD storyline for so many different reasons. Some of which I probably should not say on this live. I have mixed feelings about Connor's OCD storyline. I'll just say I have very mixed feelings about it for a lot of reasons. Ashley's breakdown, I'm wondering if she have DID. Is that the route they're going with this? I want an explanation quick. But usually DID comes from childhood trauma, not like a breakup. Unless there's something within Ashley that's always been there. So we'll see. All right, let me go through the rest of these comments, guys. Chicho says 247 says, I think Jackie means that she's been watching the show since she's been born 20 years ago. Oh, okay, Jackie. Okay, Jackie. You're right. Thanks, you, Joseph. That's probably what she meant. I've been watching since I was 12. So man, it's been a ride watching GH. It's been 18 years ago. Sorry, 18 years of watching GH, not 20, 18 years. 18 years of watching GH. Loyal GH viewer, 18 years. Can you believe it? This show's been on the air for 60 years. I've been watching it for 18. I know my mom, she used to be a former GH viewer back in the day, but she watched before Sunny came on. So whenever she sees me watching GH and she sees Sunny, she sees Nico from All My Children. So that tells you how long ago her time was for watching GH. All right, let me get through the rest of these comments. Modora says, Albert in the house. Sorry for missing your live, working late. Hey, same. I've been busy. Hey, listen, it'd be like that. I've been busy with school guys, grad school. Listen, be busy out here in these streets. I'm a future Dr. Kevin Collins out here. All right, Darby13 says, wasn't Carly's dad the guy from LA Law? Yes, I think he was. Yes, he definitely was on one of those kind of shows like LA Law or Law and Order. I do remember him. Yes. Albert says, what are the best and worst things about doing live streaming? I think it's live. You mess up, it's live. You can't edit it out. But I think some of the best things about it is you get to connect with people in real time. I have comments, but I love that I get to connect with you guys in real time, get to talk soaps. And it's another way for me to be able to connect with you guys, see what's on your mind. I just like the interaction of the part of it. It's kind of like when Albert does his live, it's like a block party. Even though we might not have Boston Enterprises tonight. We're going to have a board meeting tonight, guys. But this is Sanctuary Productions pre-board meeting. We haven't gone public to the stock market just yet. What we do, like my members channel. I know if I was more consistent, I could be able to get to that point. But if time allows. Jackie O'Neill says, I'm older than you think. Ooh, okay, Jackie. Okay, Jack, let me ask you a question. If you had to pick a soap opera to describe your personality, what would it be? I'm going to ask that to everybody in the chat. If you were to pick a soap to describe your personality, what would it be? For me, it would be All My Children. All My Children was All My Children Would Like to Live. It would be between those two. Because All My Children was the kind of the glamorous soap, but All My Children was very, okay, I'm not dramatic, but it was very dramatic in the storytelling, and it was very, very theatrical in some ways, right? Very animated as a soap. Not the way Animated Passions was, but animated in a way that it just told its stories differently. And then One Life to Live was all about the diversity, but All Life to Live was about challenging us in the way we thought about certain situations. Like when you think about Billy Douglas and Reverend Andrew Carpenter, that storyline where Reverend Carpenter kept Billy's secret that he was gay, and they thought that, Reverend Carpenter did something to young Billy Douglas. And this was back in the 90s. I'm like, damn, this is playing out? This is a good story. And it challenged the way we thought about things. And then people thought that Andrew Carpenter was gay, right? They thought that he was gay. And as a straight man, he's like, I shouldn't have to defend my sexuality to nobody. That was a good storyline. Woo! I didn't know how good it was back in the day, man. My God, they took some good stories on One Life to Live. Some good storylines. And all he was doing was just helping Billy Douglas reconcile his faith with his sexuality. That's all that was happening. But people in Landview were coming on all these rumors. Why are they spending so much time together? This grown man was clergy with this young boy. And it brought up their conversation. And then Marty Saybrook lied on them. She's the one who came with the rumors saying that they did something, right? And Andrew forgave her. That was some good storylines they told back in the day. Yo, man. Oh, my goodness. All right. Let me get through these things. G. Joseph says, I don't think the Gates will be all black, but I think it'll be majority. I wouldn't mind it being all black cast, though. I think the Gates will probably be, I'm thinking it might be CBS's version of Passions. Passions was actually a very diverse storyline. It was the first soap that I seen that felt like I had a major Hispanic soap family from the 90s coming in. I didn't know the soap at that time. We had the Lopez Fitzgeralds coming in. Even though the actress who played Teresa was technically not Hispanic, she was Akanashi Jewish, but we got to take it how we get it, right? We got to take it how we get it. All right. Dewan says, Kyrie's Clark really ran in with Jerome last night. I got to check it out. You know what? Ava was trying to slip out her place. Understandable. You need an ally like Sunny in your corner. She's doing the right thing. I have 20 people in the chat, guys. I appreciate that. Press the like button if you can. I really appreciate that. Man, I have a lot of fun with you guys tonight. I don't know how long I'm going to be on, guys. I might be on to 7:30. Pretty much. I have a lot of stuff to do today, guys. Yo, got a lot of stuff to do today. All right. Alicia says, when does the soap start? We don't know. There's no air date. That's why I love the Gates. I love what's coming, but I need an air date. When you give me an air date, I know it's real. Right? It makes it official. So all this hoopla, like we're developing something. I love the developing, but Pine Valley was also being developed. All right. This is where we're at. Nothing can come to fruition. So I'd like to see that first, if possible. All right. G. Joseph 247 says Michelle Valjean, head writer of the Gates, definitely understands the Gates. Michelle Valjean wrote for Generations. I wrote for GH in the 90s. Hopefully she can understand what went wrong with Generations. Let's not create that same mistake again. Because soap writers are not bringing in new viewers. And you need to tell. But American writers in general do not tell groundbreaking storylines anymore because we're in a very PC culture. But if you go to South Africa, I watch South African soaps. I watch British soaps. They are telling groundbreaking storylines. If you watch Hollyoaks, that Frankie storyline was like, whoa, because we're thinking Frankie's grandfather did something to her. Then it turns out it was her brother the whole time. I was like, yo. And it was like Hollyoaks goes there as a soap. And the reason why these storylines are really good to tell because these really will reflect someone's story out there in society. And that's the problem with soaps. As Jean Pasante wrote an article years ago, they're very unrealistic, American soaps. How many people do you know that can just walk into a boardroom, become CEO like in 10 minutes? That's not real. And Americans, a lot of us are dealing with a lot of harsh realities day and age. And we want our soaps to be like an escape, but we want to know that can we see ourselves in these characters? When you look at British soaps, everybody's middle class. This is the majority of people live. They're middle class. And they have real jobs. Not everyone's a CEO of a big tycoon company. Some people are teachers. What was her name? The wife of Mason's mother on Hollyoaks. What was her name? Truthfully, Lovely, something like that. But she was a counselor. Real careers. We're just now starting to see that on GH with, Aunt Stella, with being the patient advocate. Real positions, real things. We want to see more of that. All right, let me move on. All right, let me move on. Okay, Albert says, Juan, what happens in members only is members only. Period, point blank, right? All right, Mador says, do you want the new soap opera over the top like Dynasty? No, but I want it to be interesting. Passions is over the top, but interesting. Passions was our Hollyoaks. It was our Hollyoaks back in the day. All right, let me get through this chat, guys. I'm behind. All right, Meekop says, what are your favorite GH storyline of all time? The Metro Court. Definitely the Metro Court, I think, was one of the best storylines of all time because it was an ensemble storyline. It was something new for soaps, and we were on the edge of our seat. When Sam went to go pick up that phone And then Jared Jacks comes in with a gun and says, "How badly do you want to be employee of the month?" Who remembers that scene, right? I was in 7th grade and I was like, oh my God, like, what's going to happen next? You were at the edge of your seat for GH at that time. You were at the edge of your seat. All right. Laura B says, I hope your school is going well. Yes, it is, Laura B. I am close to my 2nd year coming August. We're going to be seeing real people, real clients, woo, which I won't be able to talk about. Alicia says, I don't think Ava knows what's going on with Sunny mentally, but she has in Jennifer for sure. Oh, yeah, she definitely does. And I don't blame her. She needs that. She needs an ally. She definitely needs an ally. Laura says, do you think that B&B will get shelled to make way for the gates, asking for a friend? I think it should. Honestly, I'm okay with that if it does, because B&B doesn't bring diversity. B&B doesn't give me different storylines as I would like it to. So I'm totally okay with them getting shelved for a whole new soap. It's just been the same thing with B&B rinse and repeat for the past 10, 12 years. And I don't think it'll change, honestly. Darby says, what? DC, tell Albert to go live stream tonight. Hey, if the CEO Boss Enterprises, Albert or Jess, wants to go live stream, we have to talk to Jess. Jess is the real CEO. Albert's just the figurehead at the moment. Laura B says that was bold storytelling. Which part, Laura B? Was something about Hollyoaks or one of the soaps I mentioned? All right. Miss Toby says that was a breakthrough storyline. Hey, Miss Toby. Hey, Miss Toby. It's a new member I got here. New member. New subscriber. Okay. Which breakthrough storyline? You guys got to tell me because sometimes I'm a little late with the comments. Just give me a quick reference here so I know what we're talking about. All right. Alicia says, GH fits my personality. Ava and Carly especially, and I used to like the bad boys. Okay. Duan says probably One Life to Live, for which soap describes his personality. Understandable. Okay. Let's see here. Laura B says, you do know that it's your fault Albert is being blamed for Passion being canceled for some reason. Hey, Albert is the reason One Life to Live got canceled. He wasn't watching. We needed those views back in the day. Where were you, Albert? Where were you when we need those views? Where were you at? Laura B says, a scandal. All right, Medora says, I think American storylines are rinse and repeat, not original. They're really not. I've watched South African shows. South Africa has a soap opera called Generations as well. Way more groundbreaking storylines. We have Skeem Sam, which is the one I watch on a regular basis. And then we also have, what is it? Uzalo. And then we also have Mubango. We have those. Really good storylines on those as well. And stuff I don't see on American soaps. And they only have half an hour. It's like, what is you guys' excuse? All right. Kaiwan says he's proud of me. Thank you, Kaiwan. I appreciate that. G Joseph 247 says, I feel like a lot of people didn't like Bob Guza because it wasn't the GH of the 90s, but the GH 2000 was the same. Yeah. I think a lot of people now regret how they felt about that from back in the day, honestly. All right. So Kyrie says, Stella Henry looks better than Diane Miller, and I like Stella more as a character. I like both of them equally, honestly. Okay. Laura B says, bold storytelling for All Night Till Billy Douglas. Yes. Thank you for that, Laura B. Yes. That was bold storyline back then. That was bold. And we don't get that anymore. Or like the storyline One Night to Live, where it was revealed that Vicky was assaulted by her father. When she was there, and then the person I was like, "It's your father. He did it to you," and she was like this, like, "Oh my God!" And that was a scene from the 90s, and I was like, "Yo!" And then when her alternate personality in her head, I was like, "Your father was having sex with you," and she was like, "Oh my God!" That was a chilling scene on One Life to Live. That was chilling. Yo. That was a chilling scene on One Life to Live. If you guys haven't seen that scene, I'm gonna try to post it in the community tab. That was a chilling scene on One Life to Live. Oh my God. And so it's a lot of kind of storytelling back in the day, which makes you wonder, what's going on back in that time? But it was a reflection of the reality. Soaps don't want to do those kind of storylines no more. Everyone wants to be PC. So even with Blaze's mom in General Hospital not accepting her being gay, that's realistic. How many people do you know are actually having that? It's very realistic, honestly. Okay, Alicia says, Jared Jack's most entertaining villain of all time, better than Stefano Demira. I don't know about that, Alicia. I don't know about all that. I don't know about all that. All right, Darby says, I'll talk to the boss, Jess, and then after Albert will find the energy to work tonight. Let's see. Jess is like, Albert is like the Roger Thorpe, not the bad side of Roger Thorpe. The part of Roger Thorpe was married to Alexander Spalding. And Jess is the Alexander Spalding. She's the one that really has the keys to the kingdom. Obama's getting prizes. All right. Medora says Hellenic Castine, best film ever. Okay, I'll give it that. I'll give it that for Hellenic Castine. Alicia says, DC, what's your career path? My career path is I'm going to be a future Kevin Collins, aka a mental health therapist. All right. Kyrie says, if you could write a GH and B&B crossover, what would you do? Ooh. A GH and B&B crossover. Yo. I like to bring Steffi over to GH. Who would I put Steffi with on GH? It's got to make sense. Who would I put Steffi with on GH? No, Laura B. Did I freeze? You got to let me know if I froze up. Who would I put Steffi with on GH? Jason, perhaps? I don't know. Jason, maybe? Maybe Jason? All right. Laura B says, I did enjoy. Now, from GH to B&B, hold on, for GH to B&B, I'd have Sunny go over to B&B. I'd have Sunny go over to B&B and Michael go over to B&B and Carly. I know out of all people, right? And Tracy Quartermain. They can handle it. They can shuffle along with them. They can handle it. Laura B says, I did enjoy the hostage crisis. The group stories were the good stories. Yes, they were. Soaps don't do ensemble storylines no more. We used to get those with natural disasters, with serial killer storylines, but we don't have any of those kind of storylines anymore. So I personally do miss those kind of storylines on soaps. I think last time I got an ensemble storyline was when Ben and Sierra got married. It was during the pandemic, and the church exploded. You know, they came out like, "Oh, we're in love," and the church went. Psh, 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 psh. I love it when the soaps want to do that. I want to tear down the sets just to give us a story. I miss those days. No pun intended. All right. Laura B said, "Did DC just freeze?" Hopefully, I didn't, guys. Let me know if I did freeze up. Medora says Erica Kane's daughter, Eating Disorder, was good. Yes, with Bianca. Yes. Man, all my children had good storylines, guys. We know how good we had it. We didn't know how good we had it, guys. All right, Medora says Steffi and Nicholas. Oh, yeah, because Nicholas is technically still alive, right? That's why they really haven't actually killed off Nicholas. I feel like when Adam Huss as Nicholas left, or did he go to prison? I can't remember which one. That was their way of being done with Nicholas characters. I feel like with Tyler Christopher like gone, may he rest in peace. I'd just rather than put the character of Nicholas to bed at this point. It just feels right to me. It feels right at this point. Alicia says, Dr. DC, please put Heather back in prison or some lockdown facility. And Laura B says, DC, do you think the mental poison defense of Heather on GH is realistic? It kind of is, but I feel at the same time, I don't think that's the reason why Heather has been screwed loose for like the past 20 years on GH. We all know the original reason why is because Heather did the whole LSD thing, where she tried to poison someone for stealing Jeff Weber. And I guess what happened is she left the room, and the lady, I don't know what happened. She bumped into the table, and the teacup switched, and she drank on LSD. That's why Heather has had these mental health issues for all these years, not because of this metal poison defense. But I think they're trying this to give Allie Mills a way to be on GH for a long time as Heather Weber. That would be loony, because Heather is a villain. So only way villain can last on the canvas for a long time is if you have to humanize them. And this is their way of humanizing that character for us, in a sense. I personally don't think it's true to Heather. I don't think this is like storyline works for Heather, but it might work for Allie Mills Heather. Personally, I'm a fan of the last Heather, to be honest. That's my personal opinion. But I don't think it's very realistic. Heather is the way she is because of the LSD switch back from the 80s, not because of metal poison defense. That has nothing to do with it. I feel like GH is not even honoring that part of the history. They haven't even mentioned it either. You know what I'm saying? They haven't even mentioned the fact that that is why Heather's been the way she has been on the show for 20 years. So, all right. Laura B says, RIP Tyler Christopher. Yeah, you know, when I saw the news on my email, it felt weird. I really did love Marcus Coloma as Nicholas, but I feel like now that Tyler Christopher is gone and everyone really wanted him back, let's just put the role to bed. It just feels right at this point, you know? Laura B says Nicholas went to jail in GH. Yeah, I think that's a way of like putting the character to bed without having to kill him off. And maybe just that way Adam Huss can come back and play the role when need be. Alicia says, Laura, I don't care. Heather's been nuts for years, even before she drank that LSD. Don't need her too many characters. Yeah. What is Heather going to do on canvas, honestly, at this point? What is she going to do? You know? Okay, Brad from GJ going to B&B. General Hospital. Brad from General Hospital going to B&B, falling in love with Lee and will be a storyline. Yeah. You know, I honestly thought when Brad came back and Miss Wu, we were going to get a storyline for Brad, and we didn't get that. You know, we didn't get to see him and Lucas really have to deal with the fact that their marriage ended. You know, Lucas still loves Brad. He still loves Brad. I don't really care for Christine and Blaze. We already had our characters here. Could have given them a storyline. Brad could have had a storyline with Felix come back. And my hope was that when Miss Wu came on, Brad was going to work for the organization. Maybe him and Felix were going to fall in love. And then Felix was going to be kidnapped by one of Miss Wu's henchmen. Or maybe he would have fallen back in love with Lucas. And we would have gotten to see them explore how they both come from mob families. Lucas being a Jerome, Brad being a Wu. But we didn't see that. These were very huge failed opportunities here. Or maybe even Brad falling in love with that henchman that Miss Wu had. Well, I think they recently killed him because he betrayed Miss Wu. But that henchman of Miss Wu's organization, you know, the good-looking guy, good-looking tall Asian man. But we didn't see that either. So I'm like, a lot of missed opportunities there. I mean, what do you guys think? Do you guys feel like they could have done something with Brad that time? Or do you feel like not really? You wouldn't have preferred that? I would have preferred that person. I'm not going to lie to you. All right, Laura B says, I was just wondering the perspective of someone studying mental health. Alicia, okay, let's see here. You know, Laura B, I would say okay, you're asking me if it's realistic. It can be. From that, okay, I thought you were asking me from just a storyline perspective. From a mental health perspective, yes, it can be realistic. It can be. Because obviously, our body does affect our mental health. Our physiological health does affect our mental health. If you're not eating right, your mental health will be through the roof. Okay? I know for the past 2 weeks, I was not eating right. My mental health has been like, hey, I got to work on it. It definitely can affect you physiologically. So, yes, I think that is realistic. From that perspective, yes. Now, from a character perspective for Heather, no. Because I feel like she already had the stuff going on with the LSD. You know what I mean? Like, she already had that part going on. All right, Laura B says, I was hoping Brad would come back when Miss Wu did. I was disappointed. Yeah. Miss Wu was a big disappointment. We have been waiting like 6 years for that arrival of her character. And it just fell flat. Completely fell flat. And even if she didn't war with Sonny, we were hoping we were going to see some interaction with her and Brad. And maybe Lucas was going to be in trouble. And maybe she would have kidnapped Lucas to send a message to Brad. You know, or something like that. But I don't know. We didn't get that. You know what I mean? At all. So it was very weird. It was very, very weird that we didn't get that. Darby is saying in response to Alicia, Heather's evil, period. GH is losing good villains left and right. While it's true GH has a bloated cast, we shouldn't run through its surplus of great villains. Get rid of the Amy's, the Stellas. Okay. I mean, do you guys feel like Stella serves a purpose on General Hospital? What do you guys think about that? I have 22 people on, guys. You guys are coming on. I remember the time I had I think it was like 50 or 60 people once in a live, I think some time ago. Some time ago, guys. Some time ago. I had that. Some time ago. Those are the good days. And Darby said in the Spinellis, yeah, Max and Spinelli storyline, it's late. It's late boots. If we were in Atlanta, that's what they would say. It's late boots. It's very late of the storyline. You know, I'm not invested in Maxine and Spinelli being together because literally their time was during the Peter August days for them to reunite. And now, I mean, they're doing it, but let's see how it goes. I'm not as invested in them as I would like to be. I don't feel the writers set it up the right way for me to be invested in them in that way. But I would have preferred it. I would have preferred it, though, honestly. So, let me check here. See if I got any, hold on, guys. I got a lot of things to do today, guys. It's not even funny. See here, a lot of stuff to do today. All right, let me see here. Okay. Medora says, yes, Stella is a good person, but will bite you if needed. I agree. Sierra Claire. Hey, Sierra Claire. Okay, Sierra Claire's a new person. Okay, Sierra Claire. Okay, new person. Well, you've probably always been a subscriber. I'm just now seeing it like you in the chat. Okay. Sierra Claire. Sierra Claire. This sounds like a soap name. I feel like you'd be like a soap character. Like you come in like as a publicist or something. This is Sierra Claire. You know what I mean? You'd be on like for a little guest stint or something. All right. Sierra Claire says, just came in. Thoughts on what Jason will do now since Dante cleared him? Yeah, I'm kind of curious to see where they're going to take this to. Because do him and Sonny reunite at this point? The bromance that is them? But Sonny doubted him, which I don't think. Here's the thing. There's no honor among thieves. Jason is a hitman, guys. Like, he's not like the moral center of the show. Like, the fact that everyone's like, it can't be Jason. He would never. Jason is a hitman. He kills people for a living. So his moral center is not that high. You know what I'm saying? Like it kills me on this show. Like we don't know who we're talking about. He kills people for a living. He's a hitman. You know, he doesn't technically have a moral compass. All right, Sierra says also love Valentine back to being a villain. Yeah, it worked better for him. If he's gonna be on, especially recurring, I think it's gonna work a lot more better for him. Dewan says, "What are your thoughts on Lily and Nick becoming a couple?" I don't know if they're doing that on YNR right now, but if they are, I'd be here for it. I'd be here for it. It'd be weird. I don't see the chemistry, but I'd be here for it to see where they would take it. Sierra says, "LOL, that's my real name, and I actually work in PR." No way. See, energy does not lie. Even across the street, I would say the energy and spirit never lie. How did I know that? How did I even know that? How? How did I know that? Energy never lies. That means they're giving PR energy right now. Energy never lies. Wow. Energy never lies. Oh my gosh. Wow, that's crazy. So technically, you're like the Stephanie SJPR of this chat. If you watch Days of Our Lives, you know Stephanie Johnson PR. So you're the SJPR of this chat. That's pretty dope. Okay, that's pretty cool. Okay, wow, you work at PR. Wow, okay, that's pretty cool, Sierra Claire. I love that. All right, Laura B says, doesn't he still have the FBI hanging over his head? Yeah, he does. So Jason's not exactly clear. Which we also need to know, who is Jason trying to protect? That's the biggest question. And what is this supposed secret that the FBI has? All right, Alicia said Jason still should have a conspiracy to commit charge. Alicia's not a Jason fan, and I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that. Laura says, please don't die, Eric Braden. I hope not. We still need Victor. But I would like them to segue the Newmans into a different storyline instead of them trying to vie for their father's love and affection and validation at the age of 50. That something different would be a little more appealing for me on The Young and the Restless. All right, Medora says, I'm waiting for Anne to learn Valentine is for Anna to learn that Valentine is one over Pikeman. I love the new writers and pacing. Yeah. Shout out to these new writers. They're actually giving us a really good storyline base that I can appreciate. All right, so Medora says, Darby says, unless Spinelli's AJ's long lost son, he could be fired too. The hell with Maxie Spinelli romance. Yeah, I don't care for them. I don't care. I don't care for Chase and Brooklyn. The writers still are trying to make this happen. Chase and Brooklyn. I'm like, I don't care. I didn't care 2-3 years ago. I still don't care now. I don't care. It's like, okay, if you want to make this happen, you can. But like, I'm not invested. You know what I mean? I'm just not. Dewan says Sonny is a criminal, so is Jason. Exactly. So they don't have the biggest like moral code. Miss Toby. Hey, Miss Toby. Miss Toby says, I'm not from New Jack. I'm not either. But it can't be Antonio Sabato Jr. Man's probably got bigger things he's working on these days. All right. Alicia says, no, it's not that I'm not a Jason fan. I'm a lawyer. Oh, are you? Okay, Alicia, that's pretty cool. Okay. Sierra Claire. SCPR. You know how they have SJPR in Days of Our Lives with Stephanie Johnson? So we have SCPR, Stephanie Claire PR. Okay. Did y'all hear that Nicholas Chavez, who plays Spencer, isn't coming back in May? He made a deal to get out of his contract early. Oh, that doesn't surprise me. I didn't get the feeling he was going to stay on the show for a long time. And I don't blame them. The soaps don't really have the longevity, the appeal the public they do. And I think it's best that he moves on and does something different, honestly, at this point. All right. Sierra Claire says, I don't care for kids and Elizabeth, Chase and Brooklyn, no chemistry. Yeah. Chase and Brooklyn for me, I'm just like, okay, writers, if you feel like you have to do this, then do it. But I don't care for this at all, personally. Norby says, I'm not talking Spixie Darby, so there is useful and cute. Okay, that's common for Darby. Okay. Kyrie says good riddance. Let me ask you guys a question. If you guys had to pick a soap opera, and not even just the current 4, but the Divine 9, as I call it, All My Children, As Well Turns, Guiding Light, Bold and Beautiful, Young Restless, Passions, Want to Live, Jays, General Hospital, Guiding Light. If you had to pick one soap to define my personality, which one would it be? And why, if you can say so. And then I'm going to go in like 3 minutes after this. All right. Laura says Antonio Sabato Jr. is the only and real Jagger Cates. I feel you on that. There's some people just can't accept in the role. Speaking of which, New Sloan, I kind of like New Sloan. She works. She works for me. I like it. I feel like New Sloan would have been perfect as a Teresa recast, though, to be honest. She would have been a better Teresa recast. All right, Sierra Claire says, I'm really for the new soap, The Gates. The thing is, Sierra, We don't have an air date yet. I need an air date. I'm excited. I'm happy we're getting a new soap for the first time in like 15 years or so, but I need an air date. I need an air date. I need a physical air date saying, hey, on this date, it's going to air. So we know what's happening. But right now, it's just in development. I need to see more than that. All right. Alicia says, I think despite being criminals, both Jason and Sonny on meds have a sort of moral soap code. Okay, true. They have a moral code amongst hitmen and mobsters. Let's put it that way. Laura B says, Antonio Sabato Jr. burned his bridges. What did he do? What did he do? I'm curious. And the question I have for everyone in the chat is, if you had to pick a soap opera past or present to define my personality, which one would it be and why? All right. Kyrie says, good riddance. Nicholas Chavez. I see what you did there, Kyrie. Nicholas Chavez. I hope they don't recast Spencer is not needed. Yeah, at this point, I don't know what's the point of Spencer. It's not really needed at this point. I think we can find a new love interest for Trina and it could work. I really do. I think the Spring days, they could be over, or maybe they could find another recast, you know? All right. Laura B says, whatever soap is considered working class, I guess. Are any of them working class? I would say. I'm trying to think. Okay, As the World Turns is definitely working class. As the World Turns is working class. I'll see, and now Cat Lady came with it. I'm saying you're more like As the World Turns or One Life to Live. Both were hype and dramatic type shows that match your awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Cat Lady. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Medora says, I think the contrast of Jason's son could be interesting and how deadbeat Jason would handle the situation, or the same and let Liz and Sam take over. Yeah, I love it that we actually see now Jason interact with his grown or teenage sons. They're no longer kids anymore. So last time he came out from the dead, they were still kids, and now they're teenagers, which is good because, like I said, when a character comes back from the dead, we have to see something different every time. I think that's important on a show. You don't want to write the same thing, the same plot every time. Because the thing is, like soaps, you see the same thing over. Someone has an affair, someone comes back from the dead, and these are the typical soap tropes, but it's about how you do it that makes a difference, that can make it iconic, that can make it anticipated. It's about how you do it. All right. Kyrie says, I can see you being with Leo Starks being his BFF. You'll be his moral compass. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Every soap character that is over the top or a villain, they always have to have a moral compass, somebody who keeps them in line. For Sonny, that was Robin. For Sonny Jason, that was Robin. They kept Jason in line, like made him human, because she was like, Robin to me was like the moral center of General Hospital for so many reasons. She really was a good character. She really hasn't done anything crazy, honestly. All right. Dewan says, well, being bold and beautiful is Deacon Sharp because you're both trying to live a good and simple life. Yes, I am. I'm a simple man. I'm a very simple man. Simple means life is easier that way. You know, I'm not really attached to a lot of big things or fancy things or large things. I'm a pretty simple guy because I don't want to get caught in that trap society has for us at times, that we need more and we need to have more. I need to be more. I'm perfect, whole, and complete as I am. All right. Alicia says, GH for you, DC. GH is really bad with HIPAA, although they pretend to. Straighten them. No, GH is really bad with HIPAA. Oh my gosh. Oh, they pretend to. Straighten them out. Yeah, GH does a lot of unrealistic things. Okay, one thing that gets me on Days Our Lives is that Marlena was seeing Ben Weston, the man that attempted to kill her grandson, as her client. That's like so inappropriate on so many different levels. You know what I'm saying? Like, Marlena needs to be fired. Her license needs to be investigated as a therapist. Those are things you just don't do. You know what I'm saying? All right. Oh my gosh. Okay. Callie says, I'm gonna say this real quick. I'm gonna leave at 7:40. I love that we get to see all four young men of GH Next Generation: Danny, Aiden, Rocco, and Jake. So we have Danny a Quartermain, Aiden a Spencer, Rocco a Falconeri, and Jake also a Spencer, and a Cassadine. Callie, you see that? They actually represent the four families of GH. Danny as a Quartermain. Jake is a Quartermain too, but no, sorry. Danny as a Quartermain and Cassadine. Jake also Cassadine, and a Weber. Rocco as a Falconeri, and a Corinthos, and an Aiden as a Spencer. Do y'all see that? They actually represent the four families. If you notice on GH, they used to have the promos where they had Sam, Jason, Carly, and Sonny back in the Flyers back in the day. And those four represented the four families. Sonny and Corinthos, Sam and Cassadine, Jason and Quartermain, and Carly and Spencer. Boom. Alicia says Carly was a sanctimonious doctor. She was. What at the end of the day? Robin had a gentle heart because of the AIDS storyline. Robin always had a special place in the heart of the viewers because of that storyline. She was judgmental as hell. She was. She was. But because that storyline from the 90s, Robin is always going to have a special place in the heart of the viewers because of that. And she really hasn't done anything crazy as a character. She really hasn't. She hasn't done anything crazy. So, Callie, thank you for that comparison with the 4 generations. Like I said, so Danny is the representation of the Quartermains and the Castlines, with his mom being Sam. Aiden is a Spencer, right? Rocco is a Falconeri and a Corinthos through Sunny, and Jake is a Quartermain as well, but also a Spencer. Representation of the 4 families, guys. The 4 families of GH. Those are the 4 families of GH. Oh, and Jake is like a Hardy too. So the Webbers are kind of like Arsenal Hardys. So he's also part of that GH legacy as well. He is Tom Hardy's great grandson, right? Rocco is the grandson of Sonny Corinthos. Aiden is the grandson of Luke and Laura. And Danny is the great grandson of, is it Mikos Castleinine? Mikos Castleinine. Miko Castleinine, yep. Yeah, that's what I said. Jake is a Weber. So, I mean, Aiden is a Weber too, but I'm trying to go off of like the 4 families dynamic there. You know, because Aiden is a Spencer. Jake has the Quartermain and Weber aspect to him, as Aiden does too. Rocco was a Falconeri. So he's a Corinthos. Sorry, Rocco was a Corinthos and a Spencer. Excuse me. He's a Corinthos and a Spencer. Excuse me on that. Excuse me. And then Danny is a Quartermain and Castline. So there's overlap here, but they all do come from one of the 4 families. That's an important part for us to realize. Okay, so Alicia says, will Anna go after Val? Guys, it's 7:40 p.m. I've got to go. I thank you guys for being on this live. I got a lot of stuff to do. Still got stuff to do today, guys. But I need to take a break from my studying, come in on a live today. Sure. It's a long day. Albert is not having a chat tonight, but what are you going to do? Right? What are you going to do? There's no Boss Enterprises tonight. Maybe I'll come on Kyrese's live later. If he'll allow me to. I don't know. If he'll humor me. So let's see. We'll see if he does. All right. Lorby says, I'm so glad that Rocco didn't have both his mother and final coma. I agree. That would have been traumatizing for him. And speaking of which, I have not seen Laura and Rocco have a scene yet. That's her grandson. That's Laura's grandson. I ain't seen no scene with them yet. My goodness. But anyways, guys, I am out for tonight. This has been the Soap Sanctuary, guys. I'm out, and I will see you guys on the next one. See ya.